He's chosen Neil Gorsuch, and you think this is pretty darn good. Why?
Oh, I'm really thrilled. I think it was, if I had to pick, he's the one I would have picked. I think he's terrific.
You would have picked him off of that list?
I think so.
Why?
Why? Well, a lot of reasons, but I think the main one is he comes the closest to a judicial philosophy that is the one I would endorse, and it's the one that Antonin Scalia would have endorsed or did endorse, and that's why he makes such an ideal replacement. He's a strict constructionist in the sense that he believes that we should interpret laws according to what the text says, and we should interpret the text according to its historic understanding, and above all, that the law should apply to everybody, including people who are in government.
Sounds like he really is in the mold of the man that he would be replacing, the man who previously held the seat, the late Antonin Scalia.
That's right. In fact, last year I wrote a legal update about him. This was before Donald Trump had even put him on his list, but I've liked him for a long time. I wrote about him because of a dissent he had in an important decision when he was on the 10th Circuit, and I said at the time it was an opinion worthy of Scalia, and I still think that about that and about a lot of the other opinions he's written.
Give us your assessment of the folks who have spoken out so far. It seems to be a pretty popular pick, at least among the folks on the right, libertarians and conservatives.
Well, there's no question about that. I've assembled probably 8 or 10 now very positive reviews from different people on our side of the political spectrum. What's interesting, though, is he's also getting some positive reviews by people on the left, and I think that might have been kind of unexpected, although once you think about it, it does make a kind of sense.
What is it that they think would be attractive about Neil Gorsuch, the folks on the left?
Well, what they've realized suddenly, belatedly, after the election of Donald Trump, is that there's actually something to be said for limited constitutional government and for an impartial rule of law that applies to everybody, even the president. So because of that, I think they're starting to see that, well, if we have to have a new pick on the Supreme Court that's not going to be a progressive liberal who will simply rubber stamp everything a progressive president does, if we're going to have to put up with a conservative or whatever, however you would characterize Donald Trump, with a president who's doing things we don't like, maybe it's a good thing to have somebody on the court who will actually apply the rule of law and insist that the president, regardless of his party, abide by the Constitution.